Start recording. Oh man. Well, that burp is now going to be recorded and put on there. I'm going to put the Cheetos down here so the crackling doesn't get into the mic. And I'm going to move the mic around so I can catch everybody.
So we can catch everybody.
Hi!
We're the Unfortunate Gamers. How are you doing?
We're here today. It's the Saxum Chef, and Chef's girlfriend is here. Do you want to introduce yourself?
What's up, guys?
Alright, so today we're going to talk about Donald Glover.
Today we're going to talk about motherfucking Donald Glover. Pretty excited. I like Donald Glover. I've been a big fan for a long time.
Oh yeah, since I've been a big fan since fucking. Now that we're recording, it's not in my head. Derek Comedy, yeah. Yes, Derek Comedy.
They were.
The first one I watched was obviously the one where he shit himself in class and then tried to play it off as a new kid for a minute. Yeah. And then that didn't work, and then tried to play it off as a principal for a minute. And then that didn't work, and then played it off as just him coming back to class, I guess.
I think the first one that I saw was not Spelling Bee, but it was the one Bro Rape. It was Bro Rape. Mm-hmm.
I don't think I saw that one.
It was really funny. It was kind of a parody of Dateline. Like with Chris Hansen and all the pedophiles and stuff. Except it was just bros raping bros.
What the fuck?
Yeah. And it's funny that that's the first one that I think I ever saw. Because I was watching an interview that he did. And he said, I hope I can grow past bro rape.
Wow.
Yeah.
Oh, speaking of interviews, I'm going to go back to Tim Allen for a minute. I watched an interview online about apparently the original, that part where Santa falls off his roof and dies and shit. Apparently, in the original story, Tim Allen thinks he's a burglar and shoots Santa, and then Santa comes down. But since Disney owned it right at the moment, they didn't want, Tim Allen shooting Santa Claus. So they changed it to where he just fell off. But that's pretty much all I have back on that Tim Allen subject.
You know what? I definitely see Tim Allen being the kind of guy like, yeah, I'll shoot Santa for a movie.
But no, the interview was with he was being interviewed by Jimmy Fallon.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. So that's how I know it's actually a thing. So,
that's crazy because that must have been pretty recently then.
I think I sent it to you.
You probably did, but I don't think I watched it.
Yeah, I sent it to you. Excuse me. But going back on Donald Glover.
Mm-hmm. So yeah, it is bro rape, and every one of the guys that was one of the bro rapists, they would have what was it? Natural Light, and a fucking Nintendo GameCube.
What the fuck?
And a big black dildo.
So like fraternity melee boys.
Yeah, exactly. That's what the bros were.
Nintendo GameCube.
I know it's one of those things that can never have gotten through today. Not because people can't find comedy in heinous situations, but mostly because like there would be this huge outpouring of people that would be like, male rape is only used as a punchline.
What the fuck?
And like nobody takes male rape seriously, and then it would like kind of feed into this political climate today. But back then it was just a parody of Dateline. And like obviously there's like a message of like it's pretty absurd that we're making entertainment out of catching pedophiles. And I think that's kind of the point of that one.
Yeah.
But like it was
like
still
the
really
point of the
funny.
video was catch pedophiles.
Yeah. It's just using things like that, like how reality shows and stuff. Like why? That's pretty much what it was. It was making a reality show out of pedophilia, and I was like,
oh my god, could you imagine The Bachelor, but it's like nothing but pedophiles?
What the fuck, dude? So it's just like everybody is an adult, but they're all also secretly pedophiles. So what you're telling me is like, would the concept of the show be that like the main person there is a pedophile and all of the people are minors? Like they're just actors that are acting as if they're like teenagers?
That
or
wouldn't be legal at all. Well, I don't know. Maybe
if they're adults acting like
it'd be a really dark humor show, though.
It would be a Japanese porn. What do you like? That's what that is.
Rule 34. If it exists and you make porn of it, I'm gonna look it up online. Not the porn version, just to see if it's actually made.
What? Adults acting like minors?
Or wait, no, people do that all the time.
Yeah, that's Japanese porn.
Never mind. I retract my last statement. I retract that statement.
But yeah, so that was my first introduction to him.
Yeah.
And then several years later, I watched his stand-up comedy.
Yeah, we were watching a little bit of it just a little minute ago.
Yeah, we were watching Weirdo.
Yeah.
Which is on Netflix now.
Which, he talked about Shaft a lot.
Well, that's like in the first half. Like, but initially Weirdo came out around the time, like after Derek Comedy, he got launched into other comedy specials, and he was in Community at the time with Dan Harmon. Dan Harmon's live show, which was freaking hilarious. And everyone loved him from that, and that's how he got off with the other stand-up comedy specials as well.
Yeah.
That's in that time frame, that was where Weirdo came in.
Mm-hmm. And I had no idea because I didn't watch Community.
No, I didn't either.
I had just known him from...
I need to start watching it.
Yeah, I had just known him from the internet and also from just watching a lot of Comedy Central growing up.
Yeah.
He got a half hour in like 2008 or 9. Where he just kind of I think that was actually where I first saw him, was his stand up thing, and then somebody was like, "Hey, watch Bro Rape."
His friend just comes over, dude, you gotta watch this. It's Bro Rape.
Yeah, pretty much. And then, of course, probably one of the more controversial videos was fucking Spelling Bee. I think a lot of people have seen that one, if not because they watched obscure comedy videos in the late 2000s or in the 2000s, but because of iDubbbz.
Yeah.
How he would call himself. He got the term nigger faggot from Spelling Bee, and he would refer to himself as such.
I'll have a button to block that.
Well, if we get taken down...
2 words.
If we get taken down, then...
2 words in one! But then again, we did talk about The Bachelor and child stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah,
so that would probably shut us...
I think we're fine.
Speaking of adults acting as children, he actually played a pretty good child in the Mystery Team.
Yeah, the Mystery Team was great. It was so stupid. So the Mystery Team...
Oh my god.
So the Mystery Team, I think it was just a sketch that they did one time, and then they made like a full feature film for it.
Yeah.
So Derek Comedy was... Donald Glover, of course, who we're talking about today. DC Pearson and Dominic Dierks, and I think there were a couple more. I think was it Dan Ekman was part of it. Well, he was. I guess if he was part of them, he was a behind the scenes guy, because Dan Ekman directed the Mystery Team movie. So I think he was also part of Derek Comedy. But I don't know for sure.
I just love how at the end when he went to go give that girl from Parks and Recreation, I can't remember. Aubrey Plaza.
Oh, Aubrey Plaza was also in this movie.
When he went to go give her a kiss, and then he runs away, and then she's just like, "You blew in my mouth."
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Mystery Team is about three really dumb guys. And
I wouldn't say really dumb, more like really immature.
No, they're fucking stupid.
Oh.
Did we watch the same movie?
We did. We watched it together.
So, well, one of them, they're not, okay, so one of them is clearly just an idiot. He probably actually has a learning disability.
Are you talking about the one who was supposed to be the strongest of the three?
That was...
And he's like this fucking anoretic twig.
Uh-huh. And that was Charlie. Played by Dominic Dierks.
His name is Dominic?
Yeah, his name is Dominic. Yeah.
Wow.
And then then there was the kid genius Duncan, who...
The boy genius.
Yeah, the boy genius. But he was really just...
Napoleon Dynamite with a bowl cut.
Yeah. He kind of was. He just memorized a bunch of facts when he was a kid. And, wasn't really that smart. He just had a good memory. Kind of like me.
Oh. I did not have a good memory.
No, I have a great memory, but I'm dumb as fuck.
Wait, how does that work?
We did just watch Mystery Team. So, and then of course Donald Glover's character was Jason, the master of disguise. He did do a lot of disguises, but they weren't very convincing. I think that was the point. He was just really bad at it. Let's see. So Mystery Team, 3 18-year-old boys who act... So, you could say it was kind of like a Hardy Boys parody. Where, they get involved in a murder mystery, actual murder, and up until this point, their toughest mystery was who stuck their finger in this old lady's blue boysenberry pie, which brings up
after that they solved other finger mysteries.
Which fucking brings up that kid. I can't even remember what that kid's name was. But
was it that little girl with the overalls that rode the bike around?
No, the fucking kid who has the fucking kid who did put his hand in the pie, who comes back later. But I don't want to talk too much about what he does later because I think it's so funny. So I guess just so you know, there's for this movie. I don't know if anybody's gonna watch it, but definitely spoiler alert for this. And also, there's going to be a little spoiler alert for Atlanta, and yeah, I think that's about it for now. Yeah. But he's this kid. I can't remember his fucking name, but he's just not having any of their shit. He's great. He actually comes back and helps them later on in the movie. So they get
into a real bro situation.
Yeah, but they get wrapped up in this murder mystery where Aubrey Plaza comes in. She's Kelly, and she's pretty much just a normal person, and also a former goth. So that's a thing.
Former goth.
And according to Aubrey Plaza, a goth, to be truly goth, you have to just wear black and date a closet homosexual named Ember.
I mean, you get a boyfriend named Ember, you gotta wonder a little bit.
A little bit.
Just a little bit. Is that your birth name or did you choose that? Because if you chose that, I'm gonna have to dig a little deeper.
I feel like if it's a girl that has that name.
Well, I mean that's fine.
Yeah.
Because
Because
it's
they're obviously
yeah.
women are all obviously gay anyway. Like how can you? They're just obviously gay. I mean, there's no way around it. Every one of them
is over here giving him that look like what?
What? She doesn't care. She knows. She's a woman.
Alright, confirm. Women are gay. Let's just put it up on the screen, have it flat. Women are gay.
Join our poll
Wait,
now.
What about guys then?
What about guys? Obviously, they're all gay. Can we... Like, is that not clear? Everyone's a little gay. And just come to terms
everyone's
with it.
gay.
Everybody is gay. You might not be happy about it, and that makes you an angry person.
But you know it's the truth.
But you know.
Alright, we got sidetracked. What were we talking about?
Oh yeah, so we were talking about this murder. Aubrey Plaza's character, Kelly, her parents were murdered. And so this is like, imagine like the Hardy Boys, but suddenly instead of like solving who stole all the pizza trays, who stole the pizza trays out of the cafeteria,
who killed whose cat,
it's there's literally a drug dealer about to kill us. So let's see. Oh man. So I just have in my notes, Charlie thinks hobos smoke all the time.
What the fuck?
So I gotta talk about Bobby Moynihan's character, Jordy, who is an obvious pedophile. He's the guy who works at the convenience store. And he keeps giving ice cream and candy to the guys. And it's very, very creepy. Very obviously a pedo. And he gives them some information that leads to a homeless man who witnessed some people leaving the thing. and he's like, yeah, he came here for cigarettes. And he looks at the others and he's like, definitely a hobo. They smoke all the time so that they can keep their lungs strong for box jumping.
Yeah, for boxcar jumping.
For boxcar jumping.
I remember that. Oh my god.
Yeah, this is that kind of movie, by the way. It's really fucking stupid and kind of offensive. And
no, you want to know what's really stupid and offensive that's hilarious? Brandon Roger videos.
Oh man, they are really good.
He made a new series called Meet the Hero. It's a sequel to A Day at the Beach, where they were time traveling everywhere and all that, and now they've got to fix it. So they bring that little gangster dude back in, and all the Elmers kidnapped him, and they gotta get the time machine back.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
Is this like a continuation of that the beach scene you said?
Yep, The Day at the Beach.
Oh wow, that's fantastic. He made like an entire series based off of it. It's great.
Well, he did another series. It's a 20-part series called Sam and Stuff. Apologize, I was eating some Cheetos.
Yeah. So Jordy leads them to a homeless man who leads them to lol this stupid no fear shirts.
What?
So this is when we meet one of the people that leads us down the road. I can't remember what this guy's name is, but he's the guy that has the ring and loses it inside of a stripper's pussy.
I remember that. Okay.
Oh, so that's another thing is they're also trying to find a ring that was stolen from one of the dead people. And the guy who has it is wearing a no fear shirt. And he's like, he's definitely manly. Look at that no fear shirt. I was like, holy fuck, dude. I remembered the no fear shirts.
The only notes I have written down is Shaft juice equals semen. Donald Glover's eyes equal fuckable. And unregistered sex offender, which was hilarious.
We'll definitely get to that in a little bit.
This is how little I prepared.
Flipping through my notes. And this leads us to Leroy Maddox, the guy who actually killed Kelly's parents. He's addicted to drugs.
Excuse me again.
So after Leroy attempts to kill everybody, they get to one of my favorite characters in the movie, Frank.
Frank?
Yeah. Who is fucking the guy who tells them don't be me, I'm pretty sad. And he's played by Matt Walsh, which I can't remember what else he's been in, but he's actually a pretty... He's done like a lot of comedy movies. Like if you've seen him in a movie before, you'd recognize him. But he was a homie. He ends up getting Donald Glover's character that job at the end.
I think I know what you're talking about now.
Yeah, he was a homie. And then it just leads to and then finally they find out that it was all set up by the parents who died. Her dad was a lawyer for this company, and it was the guy who was like one of the like higher ups at the company that killed him.
Yeah.
Because they found toxic chemicals in the coating they were using for their cheap wood. Which,
I mean, blah blah blah. I forgot what I was gonna say.
Yeah. So it's a pretty typical plot, like good old Scooby-Doo whodunit.
Yeah.
Except it's just a bunch of fucking idiots. And then everybody else.
It's three kids who are praised for doing it as kids and never learned to grow out of it.
Yeah. That's really where the straight man is everybody. Everybody that isn't these three kids. They're all the straight man. And then that fucking... So, the kid from the beginning, who's the one who put his finger in that boysenberry pie, when they asked him why, this is why this kid is, like, one of my favorites. He just goes, like, no, he was like, do you just get your kicks messing with an old woman with Alzheimer's? It's like, no, I just wanted to see if it felt like a pussy like that movie. I was like, and they just look at him like they've never heard anyone say pussy before. And it's like this 12-year-old kid. It's wonderful.
Well, I mean, they play underdeveloped children.
Yeah.
So.
But anyway, I think that's like the point, because like,
yeah.
Like,
either way,
this obvious difference.
He played a really good child.
But well, like he also like kind of helps them out a lot in the end, like because it turns out his mom is a stripper, and they have to go to a strip club to find these guys, and when they get in there, they see him and they tell him about that he knows him because he goes in there all the time. And he tells them straight up he likes to finger the strippers, and that comes in very, very, very quickly after when the guy loses the ring in a stripper's finger or in a stripper's pussy.
Okay, I don't know how you're gonna get a ring inside of a finger.
Oh, it's very painful and it takes quite a bit of time, I'm sure.
We shrink it down to molecular level, and then we inject it into your bloodstream, and then once it's at the right spot in your body, we go ahead and enlarge it.
I was just thinking you were just gonna like Split the finger open, and shove it in there.
Replace. How did it lopsided looking like this?
And replace the bone with it. So then reattach the tendon.
Oh, and then the one time you get into a gunfight and somebody shoots you and you just put up your hand as instinct to block, and it goes straight through your fucking finger and comes out the other side and hits you right in the head.
That would suck.
It would. Then you die.
And then at the end he takes their place as the new mystery team. And
they end up giving them their booth.
Yeah, what was her name? Ellie Kemper is in this movie. Who she's at the time I don't think she was really all that famous, but since then she was in The Office and also The Unbreakable Kimmy Schmidt, which I haven't watched either of them. But she's in them.
I've seen The Office.
Yeah, she's the secretary.
The blonde one?
The redhead.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so she comes up.
You're talking about the U.S. version, not the U.K., right?
Yeah, the U.S.
Okay.
version. Yeah. So she comes up at the end. She has Alzheimer's or something like that, I think.
I don't know. All I know is she's this grown 20-year-old or maybe 18, 20-year-old woman in overalls riding a bike around talking like she's 8.
I know they straight up say that she's got some sort of handicap. But she comes up at the end and she's like, mystery team, there's something happened. Or this girl got her doll stolen by this kid. And he pulls out a gun. He's like, where that nigga live? And then he cocks the gun and she recoils because she's terrified of him. And I would be too.
Oh yeah, I forgot I did have Don't Be Jim. Jim is sad. Jim is a bro.
Jim, that's what that's his name.
I forgot I wrote that down. Don't be Jim. Jim is sad. Jim is a bro.
Yeah, we both like Jim. And then there was Frank who shat in the punch bowl as a goof. Sometimes I really wish you didn't survive that cancer, Frank.
Who was it that was saying you didn't have any toilet paper, so I just tossed it out?
Oh God, what was that about? I can't even remember.
You didn't have any toilet paper, so I just tossed it out.
I really wish I knew what that was.
I can't remember.
This is why you need to take better notes. Because now we don't even know what part that was, and it sounds great.
And I also have they cut off my fucking balls.
They cut off my fucking... Oh yeah. So at the end they're getting ready to go their separate ways. It seems like they finally matured a little bit. And then this fucking guy comes running out of the woods and almost gets run over by Jason. And he's like, you have to stop them. They cut off. I don't remember. And then he gives them a fucking picture of the guy. He's fucking a panda. And there's scientists watching him. And then they're excited because there's a mystery. There's a new mystery. And then he just screams, "They took my balls!"
Oh my god, I really want to remember who the fuck said that. Was it Jason who said that, or the toilet paper thing?
I think if anyone said it, it was probably Charlie.
I can't remember. It's just so funny. You didn't have any toilet paper, so I just tossed it out. Oh my god.
Alright, so now I wanna talk. Now we can talk about fucking some of the Derek comedy stuff a little bit more in depth.
Oh yeah.
So I've been, since I started rewatching a lot of the Derek comedy stuff, I fucking never had I actually seen the video called Boy Band. And it's a really, it's such a terrible video. It's so awful. But it's just like, it's talking about like this, like how do you sell
unregistered sex offender?
It was talking about like how do you sell boy bands, and it was like easy. You just sell them to pedophiles. You sell the music. You make it specifically for pedophiles.
Yeah.
And so it's this guy. He's so skeezy. And he's like, I'm already in the little boy business. What am I gonna call them? The young fuckables. And then,
how old are they? As old as you want them to be. They're under 18.
Age is meaningless. Yeah, that guy.
They're ageless.
They're ageless. They're under 18. Yeah. And so, like, and then they wrote one of the most heinous songs I've ever heard in my life. But it's so fucking funny.
I'm just reading the lyrics.
Yeah.
It's hilarious.
Go ahead and read some of the lyrics.
Let's see. You'll be my unregistered sex offender. Hold on, I'll sing it. You'll be my unregistered sex offender. I can lie about ripped my shirt.
Keep going.
You're my middle-aged angel sent from above. I can't think of where the verse was at that point. You got it.
Alright, hold on. You're my middle-aged angel sent from above. You're required to go door to door and tell them we're in love. We could be close together when you're far from your wife. I think that scars are really cool. You should scar me for life. And it just keeps going like that for the entire song, and then the video just ends. And it's fantastic.
Oh my god.
It's so good. And then one of the other ones is actually something that we used for this thumbnail clip. Is "Don't Jerk Off to This," which is fantastic.
It's so good.
It's just these three guys. They go on a vacation, and it's kind of like an Airbnb before Airbnb, and there's just this picture of fruit, and there's a fucking note that says "Don't jerk off to this," and they're like, "Yeah, right. Who would jerk off to it?" And then the rest of them is them just like trying to outsmart each other to get to jerk off to the picture. It's fantastic.
It's a fantastic piece of artwork that shows that if you put a note on something that says not to do something, it's going to tempt you to do it.
But like, I think the really funny thing about it is that they really were aroused by the fruits, because there's a point where they all get up to go get to the picture to jerk off to it. And they're like, "What are you doing?" And they all decide to just get a glass of water. And he's like, "Hey, could you imagine if they put a sign that said 'Don't jerk off to this water pitcher'?" And then the other guy was like, "Yeah, right. It doesn't even have a sexy orange or anything."
This just happened to be in the wrong place. It could have been at anybody's house and they would have took the sticky note off. No, it just happened to be at the house with three guys who want fuck fruit. How they all managed to room together with all the same interests.
Right? It's so crazy.
Shit, it's knocked over my change jar.
I think that was honestly the funniest part about it, is like, what are the odds that all three of these guys just want to fuck fruit?
Damn. So how has y'all's day been?
Shit. It's been alright. We didn't really do anything.
Yeah, we were sleeping mostly.
Yeah.
Me either. I woke up and then got something to drink, ate some Tito's.
Alright.
Excuse me.
So anyway, that movie was absolute garbage, but I was pretty entertained by it the whole time.
Hasn't Donald Glover played in a couple other movies?
I don't remember him being in too many movies. I know he's been... So, he was in Community. He was also in... he wrote 30 Rock. He was one of the writers for the show 30 Rock.
Oh, okay. I know what that is.
I think he was in an episode once.
30 Rock is a show about Alex Baldwin and Sarah Palin.
Yes, for 30 Rock, he actually got into his behind-the-scenes chops as well. He wrote an episode, he produced an episode, he did all three for one particular episode where he starred in a role and helped out with what's the other actors' names?
In what?
In 30 Rock.
Tina Fey.
And Alec Baldwin. Those two particularly. He was like a behind-the-scenes person in the episode, but also he happened to write and produce that particular episode. So he's pretty much a threat. And there's several times where like he did audition for SNL twice. Damn, SNL fucked up. They didn't even take him.
Yeah. Like, I don't even understand that. How are you gonna... Because, like, watching his stand-up, I don't... he learned improv with, I think it was the Upright Citizens Brigade, because that's who Danny said he worked with a lot, right?
I think so. Yeah, whenever, I don't know if anyone's really aware, but like early on in improv days, he did work with Dan Avidan and Brian Wecht with their improv a little bit in the very beginning.
Episode.
Yeah, Dan Avidan mentioned that a couple times. Which Dan Avidan, I don't think I need to mention who the fuck Dan Avidan is, but he's one of the co-hosts of Game Grumps.
And also lead vocalist for Ninja Sex
Party. And also Starbomb. And
Donald Glover was one of their very earlier promoters. Like, well, at least on the internet, when they were just getting started. It's like, oh, hey, check them out. That would be good for them.
And so, like, I don't think I've ever really seen Dan do any, like, real improv. But even he was recognizing that, like, Donald Glover is just so much better. But, like, how are you gonna turn Donald Glover away? I bet they feel really dumb now. I mean, shit, dude. He even worked. He was so good that he even worked with like Bobby Moynihan. Like he was part of SNL around that time, I think. So like when they made Mystery Team,
right?
So it's kind of, I don't know, it's just kind of weird. Just thinking about that, like they brought on Bobby Moynihan, but they didn't
bring on Donald Glover.
They didn't bring on Donald Glover. Nothing against Bobby Moynihan, he was pretty fucking funny in that movie. Like, I felt pretty uncomfortable just doing the one sketch I did where I was a pedophile. And he just does it through the whole movie, and he gets really into it. Like,
that's the best kind of actor, though, is one that gets really into their work, because then they basically turn into a completely different person.
Donald Glover is super talented, though. Outside of like his acting career and his behind the scenes work and things like that, he also has his very thriving music career with Childish Gambino, as most people would know, and most people probably don't know that with Gambino just getting the stage name in general, it was just a name generator, and bam,
what was it, a Tupac name generator?
Wu-Tang.
It was a Wu-Tang, I think.
Yeah, Wu-Tang Clan name generator.
And lo and behold, Gambino was born.
Yes, which he makes really fucking good music. Like everything else he makes, he made really fucking good music. And well, I think the first song that I heard from him was... Fuck. I don't even think it had a single... Someone showed it to me. It definitely wasn't Redbone. It was just before Redbone hit.
Was it 2005 or...
No, I don't think it was 2005. I think it was, Not Sober. It was the video...
Fire?
It was the video... It actually was one of the singles. It was the video where, he was in... I think he was in the diner with this girl, and...
Diner. That does sound like the Sober music video.
Well, it wasn't Sober.
Or was it, Sweatpants?
Sweatpants, that was it. I think it was Sweatpants.
Yeah, that was it.
Yeah.
Something like that, because, yeah, that was an interesting music video on its own. I don't know who exactly directs it, but what a vision. Like, it's just...
well, I just happen to have the answer to that, because most of his music videos were directed by Hiro Murai.
Oh.
Mm-hmm. He's also the one who directed most of Atlanta. 14 episodes so far.
So go ahead.
14 episodes of, I think, 21 episodes, I believe, so far.
Oh, okay.
So yeah, pretty much like a third, 2/3 of the show he's directed himself.
Mm-hmm.
So I got an activity for us. I found the Wu-Tang Clan name generator.
Oh, sick! All right.
So we're gonna make rapper names for ourselves.
In the honor of Wu-Tang and Childish Gambino.
All right. So who wants to go first?
I'll go first.
All right. So I'm gonna put your actual name in here.
Chris.
And it's up to you if you want to tell the audience. But I spelled that right? Oh, it's no A in the front. Yeah, I forgot. Oh, fucking iPhones.
Yeah, that's
all right. Woomy. Chef is Fiend Raging.
Fiend Raging. That sounds about right. I do rage through life, and I'm quite the fiend. Yeah.
Alright, so I'll do mine next.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see.
This is gonna be our real names first.
Yes, we'll do real names first, then we'll do, we can do,
so Raging
names.
So Raging Fiend was my slave name.
Your slave
translated
name.
into Wu-Tang.
Your slave name, I am Wizard Great.
Wizard Great?
Yeah!
That's so good! I don't know why, but I like that so much.
Why don't I have Fiend Raging? They might have gotten ours wrong.
I don't know. Maybe
I mean, I'll take Wizard Great.
Yeah, that's so good.
Oh my god. Alright, we'll do Camille's now.
Yeah, let's try it.
Let me see if I spelled your name right. That correct?
Yeah, pretty much.
Yep, that's it.
Alright.
Alright, let's try it.
Let's woo you. Oh, woo me. Paw Awesome.
Paw Awesome. What the fuck? That's so
that fits really well. What the hell?
What do you mean?
I don't know.
So these are rapper names.
Paw Awesome.
It's Fiend Raging.
Wizard
featuring
Great.
Wizard Great and Paw Awesome. We'll make the best fucking metal, EDM, whatever the fuck music else we make.
Alright, let me see. Let me see what my chef will bring to us. Woo me for chef. Go.
Probably have to hit done then, won't we?
Oh.
Are you being a monkey?
Nope. Samurai Insane.
What?
Dang!
Just for chef? What the fuck?
I like it.
Maybe there's like a hidden deep root. Like back in the day, chefs were considered criminally insane because they always carried knives around, and maybe some of them murdered a few people.
I mean, I don't doubt it.
But they just so happen to be samurais too.
I mean, you've worked in a kitchen, and that was just a McDonald's.
Yeah, I almost became one of those psychos.
Yeah.
Alright, I'll do Saxum then.
Mm-hmm.
See what Saxum gives me. Alright.
Young dirty bastard.
I'm gonna fucking freak if that actually fucking shows up. Come on, woo me. Leader Visible.
What the fuck? I think Wizard Great is much better.
That doesn't sound very good. Like, Leader Visible. It just sounds like I'm a leader who's always visible.
Like
I always have blind spots.
like you're a general, and all they have to, they just see you're there, so that you know that if they just kill you, then the ranks
there's
crumble.
General Leader Visible.
So we're Wizard Great and Samurai Insane.
Oh, you're not taking Fiend Raging?
I don't know, man. I like Samurai Insane a lot.
Oh my god.
All right.
That was a fun little game.
Yeah. So I don't know. I don't really have
Wait,
much.
I want to see what my daughter's is.
Yeah. We're gonna see what your daughter's is.
Yeah, I want to see what her Wu-Tang name is.
Young Saxum Jr. female.
Let's see.
Let's see what you got.
Alright. Woo me. Wanderer Fearless.
Yeah,
that
sounds
describes
about right, yeah.
That describes her.
Yeah, it's actually pretty accurate.
This little girl will run out of the house at 7 in the morning in 30 to 40 degree weather and nothing but a bathrobe and just run.
Yeah, she'll do it.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
It's terrifying.
Oh, yeah, absolutely is.
Yeah, it's absolutely terrifying.
Alright, so do we want to talk a little bit about Atlanta now?
Yeah, we can talk a little bit about Atlanta.
Okay.
We got some time.
Yeah. So, Atlanta, if anyone hasn't watched it yet, is a series on FX that is produced and written by Donald Glover. And he also stars in it as Ernest.
The rapper Paperboy's cousin, I believe.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And he is trying to manage his cousin's career so that he can raise his daughter with his ex-girlfriend Van. And it's...
Now, I don't know too much about it because I've only seen the first couple episodes because I don't have a Hulu account.
Or have cable or anything like that.
Yeah, I don't have cable. Yeah. I don't pay for cable. I'll pay for like Verve and stuff like that.
But like it is on Hulu, and of course it's an FX original series. So if you have FX, I think they may have moved it on to FXX.
They might have, but it really matters.
I don't think they would have because I think it probably pulls in.
Depends if Hulu will let you log in anyways.
Yeah, we were having trouble with my login. I don't know if it's just the internet here. Most likely.
It shouldn't be the internet here because the cables are fine and the internet's been working fine. Maybe it's the site.
Might be. It might have been having like some maintenance or whatever. Yeah. But anyway, it's on there.
Atlanta. Most of Atlanta is directed by Hiro Murai, who we were just talking about. Directed some of Donald Glover's music videos as Childish Gambino. And like he has a very distinct style that you can kind of see through his episodes in Atlanta, and also if you've watched the music videos that he's directed, he doesn't seem to like to use a lot of he doesn't like oversaturate the colors or anything.
Yeah.
It's very like everything's kind of like muted and like grounded, and he also, and the reason I like that is because he likes to throw a lot of surreal imagery, which is why I think him and Donald Glover have worked together so much, because that's kind of something that has been part of Donald Glover's work since Derek Comedy.
Yeah.
He's I definitely think that if you were to label his comedy, it would be absurdist.
Yeah.
Or at least his style would be kind of close to absurdist or surrealist even. And it also follows his cousin Albert, the rapper Paperboy, like Saxum said, who I should have written this guy's name down. because he's actually really fucking good. The actor that plays Albert.
Oh yeah.
And their third guy, who happens to be a mutual friend of them, he's actually taken off as well in other movies.
Yeah, he actually. Most people would probably know him from Get Out. So Brian Tyree Henry is the actor that plays Albert. Excuse me. And the other character, Darius, is or Alfred is the character's name. Alfred, not Albert. Alfred. Sorry about that. And then the third character is Darius, who is one of Alfred's friends, and also very strange. Probably one of my favorite characters in a TV show, just because about how like he just seems to like be so disassociated from everything, but he always manages to get the most done. And so it mostly focuses on like them and their lives in the city and how absurd the city is of Atlanta. Like one of the first, I think it's like the first or second episode, where Alfred and Darius go into the woods, or they're going to re-up on some
marijuana,
some pots, and
some leafy green sticky stings,
where they have a cameo by the Migos, who are a trio of rappers. And like before they sell the drugs to Alfred and Darius, they just kill a guy. They just pull him out of the like this little compartment in the RV, and it's really great because if I remember right, there wasn't any like music or anything playing, and like the lighting was really soft because it was just like it was supposed to be dark, and there's just like a fire, and like they just pull this guy. And there's this contrast to Alfred and Darius just kind of sitting by the fire, and then there's like this harsh light coming from the RV, and they just pull this guy like in his underwear out, and he's just like crying, and he's begging for his life, and they just like throw clothes at him, and they like get out of here, and they shoot him. And this is the point where Darius and Alfred completely regret their decisions.
Immediately,
and stuff like that happens all the time. You're just kind of expecting something to go wrong, but then something entirely different goes wrong.
Yeah.
And that's kind of like that. It's something that I wish more things were like capable of doing. And I like the fact that I remember they said the way that he sold it. I think he said the way that he sold it to FX was he didn't even tell them about all the weird shit that was gonna happen. He told them what episode was it? There's a specific episode. He sold like he pitched it to FX as like just this
like a coming of age story sort of thing.
No, he pitched it as like the stereotypical like dysfunctional young black couple thing. Just so that he didn't have to tell them about all the weird shit but still get it lit anyway. So, like, he pretty much just told them that it was going to be a shitty stereotypical drama, just so that he can slip in there and give basic cable a solid dose of dick. And I really appreciate it. Thanks, Donald Glover.
Yes, thank you.
When the success of Atlanta, they got a season 2 out. They're probably working on season 3. And that has won some Emmy Awards, I believe.
Season 2 is really fucking good. There's some really good shit in there. Teddy Perkins, the episode Teddy Perkins, which introduces the character Teddy Perkins. A lot of people have probably already talked about that. An episode where Donald Glover takes on the identity of kind of a Michael Jackson-esque entertainer, who is at one point what was he, not an R&B, I guess he would have just been like a jazz or something like that, something that would have been like the stereotypical black people music of the time, and then turned out to be like a creepy Michael Jackson white-faced dude by the end of his life.
Wow.
And a lot of people have already talked about that, so I'm not going to. Instead, I'm going to talk about the episode called The Woods, which is an episode in which Alfred has to come to terms with the fact that he's no longer just an individual. Since he's starting to get famous and stuff, he's a brand, and he has to act like it. And I think that's probably... I think that's kind of something that like people need to know if they want to be famous. Like there's going to be a certain level of superficiality that you have to portray. You have to play a role, which is kind of an extension of an earlier episode, the Black Justin Bieber episode, where in that episode, one of the reporters, he's totally trying to get laid because there's this really cute reporter, and she's just like, look, people don't want you to be the likable guy. You're the bad rapper. You got to play that role. And this kind of brings it back into play, where this woman that he's dating, she's like an Instagram model or something like that, and she tells him like, well, this is business, isn't it? And he's like, what are you talking about? And she's like, look, I'm trying to sell my product, and you got to do the same.
Yeah.
So like, she wasn't taking the relationship seriously. It was just for her clout. And he got really mad and left. And then he gets assaulted by some fans, and he ends up lost in this wooded area, where he gets like assaulted by a homeless man that may or may not be real. And,
so it's a possible imaginary homeless man?
Yeah, because he's like, it's nighttime.
Yeah.
He just got assaulted. He may be hallucinating, he might not be. But he gets assaulted by this homeless man that may or may not exist, and he tells him like, it's like, you better get moving forward, I'm gonna kill you. And like, obviously some symbolism about him, like, you gotta accept
the fact that you're not going to be able to have your own life for a good while.
Yeah. And then
you're an entertainer now.
Yeah, so he finds his way back to civilization, and a fan comes up to him, and the fan asks for a photo, and instead of being like abrasive or anything, he just like, he's like still covered in blood and like dirt and shit from when he was in the woods, and so he just like poses for the picture. And he has grown.
He's learned to let go of his pride a bit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what's nice. I think that's what's interesting about Atlanta. Outside of the absurdist thing, it's a really smart television show. And if you look past that, there are some actual messages of like, oh yeah, this is probably what would happen in the entertainment industry. In fact, that's something I want to do in the entertainment industry, and it's something that I would probably embrace. But the fact that there's gotta be some things you gotta work on, like that. If that's the angle you want to work, you gotta work at it hard, and you just can't take it personally. You just gotta work. It's just something you're gonna be working towards now.
Which is kind of why I don't really want to be famous or super popular.
Yeah.
I mean, I like doing this, and
this is fun.
Yeah, and I like streaming. Streaming is really fun. Whenever you can interact with people.
Yeah.
I don't know, man. Like, I don't think I'd ever want to be like the next ninja who got like lambasted because he said he didn't want to work with female streamers out of respect for his wife. And like I could see where, and there were like people who were blowing it out of proportion, like he's sexist, blah blah blah, or he can't control himself. So I'm like, no, him and his wife probably talked about it and came to an agreement about how they want to conduct themselves on the internet.
Yeah, I mean, who are you to say about their decision?
Yeah, but and I don't want to get to that point because I don't want to have to tell people to go fuck themselves, because I will. I'll tell them to go fuck themselves, and they can fuck themselves.
This podcast is brought to you by Go Fuck Yourself.
In theaters everywhere, March 31st.
Starring Keanu Reeves and Donald Glover.
I'd watch
also it. Guest starring Tim Allen.
I'd super watch it.
Extra guest exclusive star Alan Rickman.
This is clone.
Design paper. The clone's design paper.
So I think since we've talked about Donald Glover for an hour almost, I think it would be I think we should also address some of the like scrutiny that he's taken. Because people take him too seriously sometimes.
Yeah.
Because he's come under scrutiny for some things he said on Twitter that are kind of, what was that? There was a tweet that he had that was kind of like talking about like white privilege, which I don't really agree with that the concept of white privilege exists. But he was like making a chain of tweets that was like, I would rather be white because this, and this, like all this stuff is like white people don't have to worry about this stuff. And like a lot of people took it as like he was anti-black. Like,
what?
Yeah. And I was like, what? How can you even get that out of this? He's clearly spouting he's clearly like using the same kind of rhetoric but in a different framing than you. Like, why would you get mad at him about that and call him specifically that? Like, why? And then also he's come under fire because he has a white wife. That's a thing. They're saying they're just like, there's a lot of people that call him like, you know, what's the fucking word?
Yeah, there was like articles and rumors, things of like he's colorist and he doesn't like darker skinned women compared to lighter skinned women, and I'm like, that's stupid. Even though it was debunked and that wasn't right either. Yeah,
like there's been all sorts of stuff about Donald Glover like that, and it's just like, and it just made me think, like, I see so many people talking. I see so many people of color that'll be like, well, we need to lift up, you know, black men and women who are successful, and then they'll like defend pieces of shit like R. Kelly, who's an actual pedophile and rapist. Fuck you, Robert Kelly. Go to fucking prison now. Isn't
he like about to get caught or something?
Probably. I hope so. I hope they're about to throw him.
He's on the run right now, right?
No, he's like in. There's like a big trial going on right now.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, or I'm pretty sure it is right now.
Yeah, over what? He peed on another 15-year-old?
Probably fucked another 15-year-old. I don't know.
I know he was like in the process of like him going to court, I believe, he was he approached another minor and asked her for oral sex, and I'm like, oh my god,
what is wrong?
What is the matter with you?
And then like there'll be people like Donald Glover, who are successful fucking black men, trying to like a majority of the cast of Atlanta is black. Like,
he would be respectful. He would ask an over 18-year-old girl for that,
right? Like he's actually like, you know, making one of the things that I like about Atlanta is that it is first and foremost written by a black man about black life, and that's fine.
It's fantastic.
Yeah, it's great. But also the fact that it's so good that it's accessible to, I feel like it's accessible to more than just the black demographic.
It could also basically just be like life living in Atlanta. Like, this is how it is to live in this kind of a town.
Or even on a more broad note, living life in poverty.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely.
Because that actually hit me pretty good when I watched Shameless.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, because Shameless, I get about half of what was going on.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, some of that didn't apply to me because my childhood wasn't exactly like that.
Yeah,
I bounced from motel room to motel room, but
it was fairly close, and from even with it hit to a broad demographic of like, this is most likely what it's going to be like.
Yeah.
Yeah, I both of those shows resonated with me too.
Yeah,
I didn't move around a lot as a kid, but with a single mother, we relied very heavily on government assistance.
Yeah,
very, very heavily. You know, food stamps, Section 8, the whole nine.
Yeah, well, we didn't get Section 8 when my kid was first born. I think I tried to get it, and there was like the super huge waiting line, and they're basically, by now I probably would have gotten it, and now you don't need it.
Yeah. But yeah, so that's something like that can resonate with more people than just the black community.
Can relate to them.
Yeah, because you know, not just black people are living in poverty. White people, not very many Asians. Let's face it. I'm sure there's a few of them out there, but definitely.
At least 90% of them are doctors.
Like a good majority of like the stereotypes of like as an Asian woman myself, like most of the stereotypes of like pushing their children to succeed is there for a reason. Otherwise, we're just gonna be like there's a good majority in some places where they're just drinking away everything. Yeah. So
you know, I think that Asian Americans probably have more. I think they have more like social pressure than most other races, like because I mean it's pretty much stereotyped that like black dudes are lazy and don't like to work, and then you know, white people are all trashy as fuck. All of us, trust me. Oh my God. And then you know, Hispanics are just, the stereotype that Hispanics like they'll take any job, do whatever.
Yeah.
Like and then there's the Asians who like societal expectations are that they're all geniuses that can and will kill you with their pinky, and also are in like the top 10% financially. So
and guess what? Not a lot of us are.
That's a lie.
I mean, statistically, they're doing better than most other races. That doesn't mean that all of them are, obviously.
Oh yeah, for sure.
But I'm just saying, like, that's a lot of societal pressure.
Oh yeah,
like,
definitely.
Like, as a white man, I'm expected to hate women, blacks, and also fuck my own family.
Wait, what?
Yeah. Incest is a thing. Come on.
Oh yeah.
We're white dudes in the South.
That's in the South. What about dudes in the North?
Oh, I don't know. They fucking shovel snow. I don't fucking know, dude. Like,
so you're basing your opinion on the entire white race, just down to the southern part of it.
actually, do you know what's funny? There's actually rednecks are everywhere.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
You see them everywhere because people move around.
Yeah.
Some people, you get used to talking away for a while. You get that dialect.
Yeah. But all I'm saying is the trash, that white trash thing is, that
all
the
white
Midwest,
males are southern
Midwest,
white trash.
Well, like there's the Midwest, abusive wife beater guy goes to work at the factory all day, or the coal mine, comes back up and, my dinner's not ready, woman. Or let's see, what other kind of white stereotypes are there? I don't fucking know.
I think that's just a general stereotype or not general stereotype for America, but like the mentality for America. All they want is the 50s sort of aesthetic of like, oh yeah, we'll just go old fashioned of like men bring home the bacon and all this nonsense. Well, guess what? It's not like that anymore.
And I think the only people that don't, like, I feel like the only people that actually have that complaint are about to die anyway, so it doesn't really matter. And anyone who doesn't, like, I don't think they understand what that time was like. Do you like getting drafted to random wars? That's a thing.
If you hear a baby in the background, it's just the baby, my roommate's baby.
That's fine. We got it. Yeah. Fuck, dude. I don't know enough about like actual stereotypes to really care. Like that's all I know is that like Asians are stereotypically
white people taste like vanilla.
Uh-huh.
And then we've got the Spanish. They taste like brown sugar.
I like brown sugar, yeah.
And then the Asians, lemon.
What?
No,
I've never heard of that one. But there was this running joke I always remember of like how God created people. He baked them like bread, and so as it expected, it just went on like that. But Asian people were baked golden brown, and just right. So that's how that joke ended. But it's not a great joke. But that's how it was.
It's not a good joke at all.
Not at all.
No, that just means everybody tastes like bread.
Yeah.
So if I bite into my arm, I'll have bread.
So wait. That means
this isn't skin, this is crust.
No. That means that Jesus actually did give them parts of his body.
Oh my god.
And I think on that note, I think we're gonna call it a day.
I think we're good for the day. But stay tuned for next week. Same time, we'll have episode 4 streaming, and this will be available on YouTube probably about an hour after we get off of here. But bye.
Bye.